See the blackened skies, like the trumpet seven. Feel the drops of ice as they fall from heaven. The storm is rising above the forest trees.
Floyd Samson is a person on whom it's not easy to find information. As far as I know, he lives in San Angelo in the United States, and he owns Buffalo Print Records. He has released at least 4 albums under the name Floyd Samson. The first that I know of being in 2020. He also records under the names Albedo Mission, which is an ambient project, which maybe has 1 album, and under the name Just a Potato, which the little bit I've managed to find is noise rock of some kind.
Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of the album Under Earth by Floyd Samson, which was released earlier this year, as I record this, which is 2025. And this is obviously, therefore, Floyd's latest album. He has released at least 2 since I recorded the introduction, where I said I think he's released 4 albums. So by my accounts, that's now 6. But I might be wrong on that. And it's my 3rd review of one of his, I think. So this is a request review. It was requested by Floyd's brother, Ol Walter, who is a fairly active member on this channel. Hi, Col. And I know Floyd kind of lurks around on the channel as well sometimes. Hi, Floyd. And I've not yet ever not reviewed something because somebody who was involved in the creation of it has requested a review. So let me just say a little bit about the channel and then get into the review. So actually, it's not about request reviews primarily. This channel is about reviewing a list of albums that has been created by a website called Acclaim Music, and they're an amalgamated critics list. So a bit like Metacritic, but going back a lot earlier in time. And they have created, therefore, as a result, a list of the 3,000 best albums, according to these critics, of all time. And I set myself the fairly crazy target of reviewing all 3,000. I'm just over 1,000 through. It looks like it's going to be a total job that's going to take somewhere in the order of 9 or 10 years. It may take longer. We'll see what happens on my pace as things change. Been fairly consistent so far. Occasionally, though, I step off that list, and one of those reasons for stepping off is for request reviews. That's why we're here with this album. If you want to request a review, it's quite simple. All you need to do is leave a comment on any of my videos on the channel. I've got a short list that I keep. Now, first of all, I never absolutely guarantee that I will ever review everything that's been asked for. There have been a few that I've decided not to for various reasons. Sometimes the reasons aren't things I want to make public by putting them in the comments as a reply. So, apologies for that. However, if you want to make sure and you know that I've seen it, what I will do is, as soon as I've seen it, I will reply and say I've added it to my list. If you don't see that within a day or 2, then feel free to have another comment. YouTube have done something slightly annoying to me, is that I no longer get emails when people comment on my videos. So that makes it a little bit harder to keep on track of things. They didn't ask anybody, as far as I know. They just stopped doing it. They didn't tell us that was going to stop. So, but there we are. Right. All of that was probably a waste of time. Here we are. Let's review this album. Now, as I said, I've reviewed some of his albums before. The previous 2, I believe it is. It would be really tempting for me right now to just focus in on how this album is different to his other albums. What I'll do is I will do that, but I'll do that at the end, and I won't spend very long on it. I'll spend most of it thinking about this album as a standalone listening experience, as if you had no experience of him before. It's folk. Of a kind of an American variety. It's almost entirely acoustic guitar with the occasional bits of other sounds in here. Mostly this is strummed, and mostly this is done by having one pattern of uh, strumming pattern and chord sequence that goes on for the whole song. And then, of course, we've got Floyd singing. His singing is clear and easy to hear. Excuse me. I have to say, now that I've heard a few of his albums, I've got quite used to his voice. Um, so, I find it decent and reasonable. His lyrics, so there's some general pastoral stuff, trees and countryside and things like that. Some mild social commentary, some clear religious content. He's a Christian and likes to sing about that. I don't blame him. His first song, for example, is the strongest on this, which is Grey Sky Hymn. Uh, Keep the Dawn Down may be political. I don't want to read too much into what his politics might be. I think I've got a bit of an idea. Some of that has come over time. He certainly doesn't ram it down people's throats. It does sound a bit like it's a Republican versus Democrat protest thing, but it could easily be the other way around, or it could easily be referring to other things as well. It's certainly about decrying misinformation around. He has a tendency with his lyrics not to have things rhyme or to have regular scansion, which gives it an overall kind of, well, slightly different to other things feel. It's got a, I put the word awkwardness down, and it is awkwardness, but it's not necessarily a negative awkwardness. It just gives us a kind of maybe a feel of authenticity to it as well at the same time. Um, it's the thing that you don't actually hear that often, I don't think, but there are, I do know of other artists who've done this quite consistently. Um, the recording on the album could be better. With it being so guitar focused, it'd be nice if the guitar sound itself had more kind of warmth and depth to it. It's quite mid-rangey. His voice is mostly doubled and quite reverbed. So I'm guessing that this is because he particularly likes this sound, or because it's recorded to make him have more thickness and presence to the voice. I know from the past it is a thing that people have done. It's something that I've done as well myself when I've done bits of recording. Sometimes it gives you more kind of life to the voice potentially. However, I feel that the combination does make it, because there's quite a bit of reverb as well, makes it sound a bit distant. Now, that may be, again, deliberate. It might be how he wants it. To my mind, the whole thing would come across better if it was more close mic'd, felt more kind of intimate and more close, and had some better recording sound to it. But that's not a huge detriment. It's also mono, so it comes across better not on headphones. That's immediately obvious when you put it on headphones, and I'm afraid that there's quite a few of these albums that I'm reviewing that are mono, but I don't like listening on headphones to mono stuff. It just feels wrong to me somehow. Anyway, so let's do the bits of the comparisons bit that I said I was going to do. It's better recorded than the previous album, and I think from my memory from the album before that as well. The vocal tuning is nicely consistent here. I really enjoyed the harmonies on this album. That's something that's a definite positive. Yeah, the songwriting is okay. On retrospect, as I'm doing comparisons, I liked the song suite on the previous album more than I liked any of the songs on this album. But then, kind of back to this album, did I like it? Yes, I did. I quite enjoyed listening to it. Would I deliberately seek it out to listen to? Sorry, probably not. But it's coming in about the same sort of level as the previous album. A little bit better on the recording, maybe a little bit less interesting in the actual songs themselves. So that's what I think. Again, hi Cole, hi Floyd. I know you're lurking. I know I don't deliberately soften this because I know you're there. So, and I know that you respect that, and that's fine, and I like that. So, thank you. Everybody else, I would encourage you to, have a listen. I don't review it. Oh, excuse me, just to be a nice guy. I'm trying to expose this to more people. I'd also love any comments that you've got. So have a listen to the album and pitch in. Tell us what you think as well. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. But that's it from me for now.
Do you know of the story of the prodigal son? Do you know of the story of the wise one?